Hey, everybody. So, I wanted to talk about some of the energies for the week ahead. Today is December 30th. We just have another day of this fantastic year that we've had in 2024. And so, here in just a little while, what time is it now? It's currently 4:21. So, in about an hour or so is when the new moon will be here. The moon is currently in Capricorn. And, one of the benefits of being an astrologer is I get to see some of the energetic signatures and how things are going to just energetically affect us over throughout each of the days as the energy shifts. And so I really love tapping into moon cycles. So with since solstice, last week through today, we've been in this last part of the moon cycle, and here in an hour we'll be at the new moon. And so with solstice, we had this really wonderful time to just reflect. We could reflect on how this last year has been for us, what's worked, what's not worked, what needs to be tweaked, how do we want to move our energies forward. However, if you're like me, this last week in the last phase of the moon, it's been a little difficult to be able to move forward with any of those new things, the ideas and, different things that have been coming to me, and how I want my life to be able to move forward a little differently this year than it has in this past year. We get to really take take a look at things, and it's one of the beauties of this transition between the years, between one year coming to an end and the next year beginning. There's this really sweet quietness that often happens between Christmas and New Year's. And it's, typically a really great time to just reflect and really take account of life. And, you know, and the beautiful thing is we don't have to wait for New Year's to be able to make a New Year's resolution. We can actually do it with this new moon. And the timing is really wonderful to be able to do that, as Capricorn loves. Capricorn is Saturn ruled, and he just really loves to be able to set new plans in place and to have. I am currently dog sitting, and the dog is just playing with its ball. I'm sure you can hear the sounds. Why the dog wants to play with its squeaky toy now, I don't know. I don't have the hearts to put the dogs inside while I do the video, so let's see if they can continue to be good. The squeaking has come to an end for the time being. Anyway, so usually this is a great time to just really, get moving in a good, clear way. Except for this year, we've had this last phase of the moon that's really just made it difficult and a little challenging to be able to step forward. So I'm going to ignore the doggy sounds. So with this new moon, I always love doing new moon rituals, not before the time of the new moon, but after the new moon. And so while the moon is in Capricorn, which will last until early Wednesday morning, so we've got the rest of this evening, Monday, we've got all day Tuesday to really dive into some new moon rituals to make a very clear path forged ahead, to really look at the details, to really be able to see, especially between now and equinox, this first quarter. Often we look at the new moon as like the next 28 days, but with this one, actually, with all new moons, I really like to look at the full cycle of the moon, between itself and its opposite. So that's just the way that I look at it. But most people are just going to look at a new moon as like the new moon cycle of that 28 days. However, I like to look at the big picture. I like to be able to take a step back and really look at how are these themes affecting me? What has happened for me since this period of time last year? What has happened for me over the course of each of the chapters throughout the year, which I mark by both of the equinoxes and the summer and the winter solstice. And moving forward, I like to look at things in chapters as well. So between now and spring equinox, what do I want to accomplish? What are the energies that I want to put into place? What are the action steps? Saturn loves to hear the word action steps and processes. What is the strategic plan that I have for myself to be able to forge ahead in the most efficient and action packed way to get the maximum benefit, with to be efficient in that. So as I am laying down my plans, that's what I'll be doing, and I'm going to get really clear and intentional about it, and I'm going to do a ritual with that between the new moon and while the moon is still in Capricorn. So for myself, a way that you can, for myself, this is the way I do my ritual, and you can definitely do the same thing or bring in your own twist or variant to it, whatever works for you. But I really love to be able to light a candle at the new moon, and I really like to write down very, very clear what my intentions are, and then just really get into my vision with it. I'll also drum and do like a nice shamanic journey, and I'll also pull out my tarot cards and do a nice tarot spread. In this case, I'm going to do a tarot spread for the year ahead. I'll do a shamanic journey just to get any clarity of any parts that just might feel a little uncertain for me. And so that's what I like to be able to do for myself. Also, hey, look, that's Slider in the back. He is just one of my favorite little buddies here. The other one is over there lounging. Sorry. Anyway, so I digress. So that's what a recommendation would be for you to be able to honor this period of time, and this time of year that we're in. And what are the action steps? What are you going to do to forge ahead in a strong yet efficient way between now and to get the maximum effort between now and equinox? So those will be the questions that I'll be asking myself. Now, for the rest of the week, I said that we're going to be talking about the energy for the rest of the week. The rest of the week, on Wednesday evening, we've got a delightful Venus goes into Pisces. Venus loves being in Pisces. It is her favorite place to be outside of her home signs of Taurus and Libra. And so she can just really get into some mystical play. For myself, as a Pisces, I just love sitting down and reading books and sipping tea and talking metaphysical things. Those are some of my favorite things, and Venus and Pisces is all about that. Pisces loves the metaphysical, wateriness. Let me float on a stream someplace warm would be the best thing ever. And so Venus will be in Pisces she stays in each of the signs for about a month. I don't have the exact date when she moves into Aries. However, we've got several weeks with her here. So this is going to really bring in a good feeling around the things that we value, our relationships. It's just going to make things feel nice. However, several hours later, Mars is going to be going into opposition with Pluto. So that's that's going to be happening early Thursday morning, and so early Friday morning. It's going to be happening later this week. So when late Thursday night, like it's around 2 a.m. is when that's going to be happening. So you might not want to like go into dark alleyways and, or put yourself into any potential harm, because that would not be good under this influence. Pluto is the lord of the underworld. Mars, he's the warrior. He loves to fight. So they're going to be challenging each other. So what that might translate into is just a lot of power plays, a lot of power play dynamics that might be going on that might not feel good. So if you're experiencing that, it's probably going to happen more on a global world scene. Maybe there'll be some news that'll be coming our way. But things just might feel like under pressure as a result of that. And I overlooked New Year's Eve. So things are looking pretty good for New Year's Eve. We've got the moon will be in Aquarius, which makes things a little bit more aloof. It's not like, all lovey-dovey. It's Aquarius, so it's like a little more standoffish. But loving watching the celebrations. That's what Aquarians love. Aquarians love to see the social aspects of things at a larger social scale. So with the moon and Aquarius, we might not feel so lovey-dovey. However, being able to enjoy our friends and our family and the things that we love to do overall should be really nice. However, I will caution that a little after New Year's, about 1:30 a.m., there is an aspect with Neptune that'll be taking place that can make things a little foggy, make things a little bit more, like if you might be drinking, you might want to stop around that time or before then, so not put yourself out and during those times. Or, that just might be when you decide that you want to have another and one another and another, and it just turns into a mess. So let's protect ourselves, let's protect our friends and the people that we love. Call it early, go home at midnight. And if you are going to stay out and you are going to do the things, just be careful, y'all. Just be careful. Don't want to hear about any disruptions with any of my friends or family, or across the world, of course, on our New Year's. So let's keep it safe. All right, so that is what I have as far as the energy for the week ahead. I do want to mention though that I do have a astrology for the year ahead promo that's launching now through the full moon on January 13th. So for the next 2 weeks, if you schedule an appointment, you don't have to schedule the appointment during the next 2 weeks, but as long as you get the appointment scheduled over the next 2 weeks, there'll be a coupon code for you, Cosmic, that you can enter, and that's going to give you 25% off for your year ahead reading. So our readings typically last between 60 and 90 minutes, just depending on how much there is to talk about. And so again, that special, if you go to my website, JamilaBlue.com, you will see that special and you can book your reading. Also, the other thing that I have is at the end of this video, you will find a guided meditation for the new moon, and that'll just really help you bring in some clarity and tap into that energy of the Capricorn and earth elements, to be able to bring that in and just tap into that further. So that'll be good to do with your ritual and any time that you set aside. So those are a couple of my announcements, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, and Happy New Year, everybody.